since I preside at the policy level in terms of the running of those government security institutions.
You would agree with me that the prison service was one of the worst institutions in the country during that time when you were in charge?
Yes, and still, I think.
With regards to the police, what responsibilities did you have over the police?
The responsibilities I have, as I said, as the minister, are responsible for policy matters, policy issues, because the day-to-day operations of the police, in terms of their professional operations, solely lies in the hands of the IGP and the respective commands. But as I said, you ensure that the government provides, try your best to secure for them what they need in terms of equipment, materials, and other things, and then also to report where necessary the activities, transmit to cabinet when there are certain issues that really would need attention of government. And if government also has some other policy issues vis-a-vis the police or any other security outfit under the ministry, that's also related to the command of that particular outfit.
You talked about the IGP as the person responsible for the operations of the police, but the IGP was answerable to you when you were minister, correct?
Yeah, he has to one extent, but on another extent is also answerable directly to the head of state or the president of the republic.
Well, every civil servant is somewhat, to some extent, answerable to the president. But you have this arrangement of line ministries being responsible for particular types of activities. And your ministry was responsible for policing and internal security.
Yes, but I want to really dilate a little bit more on that. When it comes to the service chiefs, as we call them, they always have that direct link to the presidency, even without going to the. It's different from a permanent secretary or a director, a civil servant.
But look, the Secretary General is head of civil service.
Yes.
And all permanent secretaries are under the Secretary General. But the permanent secretaries also report to their line ministers, correct?
Yes.
So, by extension, the IGP had a direct line of communication and you had direct authority over him.
Yes.
So, therefore, the IGP was under you.
Yes. Yes.
Regardless of the fact that the IGP may also have a direct connection to the president.
Yes.
But it's in fact not proper protocol that the IGP deals directly with the president. You would agree?
No, when it comes to service chiefs, it's not against protocol.
That is your testimony?
Yes, that's what was prevailing, and that's what's still prevailing.
So you are painting the picture that the IGP can bypass the Minister of Interior and go directly to the President?
Maybe the word bypass might be a bit harsh, but that's a possibility and it happens. And understanding the setup, you don't make an issue out of it because it's...
But that would be an aberration, wouldn't it? It wouldn't be the norm.
No, but no, there's nothing that's saying that shouldn't happen. If anything, that's already an established system or process. So if something that's clearly stated shouldn't happen, that's why you use that, you term it as, but that's normal.
But the fact that it happens does not necessarily mean that it is correct.
Yes, for me, I take it as it's correct.
You think that would be normal? Yes.
I give you an example. Service chiefs. Like if there is a function, for example, there's a presidential function or guard of honor at the airport, for example. You see where the IGP and then the chief of staff, the head of national security the extent they can go with the president, the Minister of Interior wouldn't go that far. So you can see that they have that privileged relationship.
Wouldn't that be a very poor example? That is just where a person stands. We're talking about operations and implementation of policy.
Yeah, I'm just giving an example. That's the same operation, the same thing that happens.
Okay, let us not be bogged down by that point, but the fact remains that the IGP is directly under the operational responsibility of the Minister of Interior.
Operational, maybe I'm going to differ, maybe in terms of, because the minister is not involved in the operations, the day-to-day operations.
Well, no minister gets involved
Exactly.
in direct day-to-day operations, but you oversee the administration and the activities of that institution.
Yes.
In this case, you oversee the activities of the police, and the IGP is answerable to you as minister.
Yes, in that context.
In fact, he takes instructions from you.
It depends, not all the time. Not all the time, not in their day-to-day operations. He wouldn't take instruction from me to ask the police to investigate a theft case somewhere. I don't need to know.
Well, wouldn't that be too small an issue for the minister? But if the central bank were to be robbed, as Minister of Interior, wouldn't you think it would be your responsibility to be discussing this issue with the IGP?
Yes, to a certain extent.
Simply because it's a serious offense?
Yes.
So, unlike a petty theft case, it wouldn't worth your while.
No, I've just given that example. I've just given that example that the minister doesn't have to be involved in the day-to-day operations of the police. You don't have to.
I think we can all agree with that.
Yes. Okay.
But we can also agree that the minister gives instructions to the IGP.
Yes, yeah, sure.
Good. So let us move on. We would hold an institutional hearing, if the commissioners agree, on the issue of the prisons. You have, a little while ago, agreed that the prison was one of the worst institutions of state during your time, and probably before your time, and also maybe after your time.
Totally.
So we would have to look into that, and hopefully at some stage we may have to call you to come and testify about that particular issue.
Perfect.
But in the meantime, let's talk about your activities as Minister of Interior, but mainly your work with the police. Do you recall the events in July of 1995 when a Minister of State was killed or died? June 1995, when a Minister of State died under mysterious circumstances?
Precisely the late Usman Korosise? Yes, I was, if that's the case.
So tell us where you were and how you came to know about this.
This time I traveled with the president to Ethiopia for the OAU summit. In that month, I think the latter part of the month, around the 20-something of the month, and then upon arrival in Addis Ababa, later in the night, the president summoned us, the members of the delegation, to his hotel room through the securities. And when we converged, he broke the news to us that he got the news from Banjul that the finance minister died in a car crash where his car was burnt to ashes almost.
So seeing that you traveled with the president on the same flight to Addis, do you know whether the president has had conversations with his then deputy at the foot of the aircraft before the president departed?
Yes, it happened.
Do you know what they discussed?
No, I wouldn't know.
We also received evidence that the president stopped at the door of the aircraft, summoned his deputy to go over to where he was standing. They also had another conversation before he entered the flight and departed to Addis.
Yes, that happened.
That deputy would be who, if you could recall?
Then Captain Edward Singati.
You have traveled extensively with the former president.
Yes, I did.
Have you ever seen anything like that?
No, not to that extent. But before stepping into the staircase, having a handshake and, if necessary, 1 or 2 words was normal.
But what I have just described?
No, that one was, I've never seen such.
You've never seen anything like that before?
No.
So that was abnormal?
Yes.
Did it raise eyebrows to you?
Not at all, not at that time, no.
But you noticed that that was abnormal?
Yes, it was extra, you know.
Okay. So you arrived in Addis. How long was the flight?
Oh, sorry, Council, I wouldn't be able to give that person.
Was it a direct flight?
Sorry, I would want to land. I can't remember that. I wouldn't know.
Banjul Addis should be about 8 hours, 30 minutes, thereabout.
Yes, I did similar hauls, and it's about that length. If it were a direct flight, sometimes there's a need for a technical stop for refueling. But this particular one I couldn't remember, honestly.
How long was it after your arrival in Addis did the president summon his entourage to give you that information?
It was not a long time. I think we are just, like me, I was trying to unpack and settle down in my room. I would not even finish that. I would say barely 15, 20 minutes.
Almost immediately after arrival?
Arrival, yeah.
You were summoned?
No, okay, not immediately, because what happened when you arrive, normally we go to his villa or his suite, and then we part. The protocols will, lead everybody or give you a key to you to go to your room. So before we part with him here and there, that takes a few minutes.
Okay, let's say within 15 to 20 minutes.
About that, 15 to 30 minutes to a safe side, let me say that.
That information was received. You would admit that the information reached you very, very quickly, soon after your arrival.
Yes, it's not very far. It didn't take long.
Can you tell us how the information was imparted, how it was conveyed to you?
Yeah, when we gathered, he told us we have received a very bad news from home that the Minister of Finance died in a car accident along the Jaba-Jambur road. And this is a very unfortunate thing. Yeah.
So already at this early stage, it was known to the president who was the victim in that car crash.
Yes. That's why he called up the meeting, I suppose.
It's like he had all the details that it happened along the Jambur road.
Yes.
That the person involved in that accident was Usman Korosise.
Yes.
And that he died.
Yes.
What else did he say about it?
Nothing much. Nothing much that the situation is being further investigated. That the vice chairman and those on the grounds are handling the matter.
Did he say that?
Yes.
Did he talk about the state of the vehicle?
He said it was burned.
Did he say anything about the state of the body that was found in the car? That
the body was charred in the vehicle. And, he died because of the car was burned.
It was beyond recognition.
He didn't go that far to explain, but that's what we later realized.
Oh, he said it was charred.
Yeah, it was.
Did he say to what?
No, I was the one using the word charred. He said it was burnt in the car.
Beyond recognition?
No, that specific particular word, I wouldn't say where that came from him.
But it was clear to him that it was Usman Korosi?
Yes, yes.
Did he cry?
No, I didn't see him dropping any tears or wiping his eyes, but I could see his face was somber.
It was somber?
Yeah.
Did he say anything to you as Minister of Interior?
Nothing specific, no.
We have heard from Demba Njai, who was the chief of staff of the president at this time and chief of protocol. Was he present in that meeting?
Yes, he should be there, yeah.
According to Demba Njai, the president never mentioned the issue.
He never mentioned what?
Yes.
No, I
disagree. According to Demba Njai, he said he got information about it from Langtombong Tamba. And the president never discussed it.
No.
And he felt that was very odd.
Okay. Maybe he was not present at that meeting or that forum, or he has another reason not to say that, but I was there. I was there in the room of the president with other members of the delegation when this thing was announced to us.
You being the Minister of Interior, wasn't it odd that the president didn't say anything to you about what is to happen afterwards?
No, not at that point, no.
Wasn't it odd that he didn't say anything?
Yes, it is.
That you agreeing that it is odd?
Yes.
Okay. And from that day onwards, how long did you guys stay away from this country?
We came back on I think we left on the 23rd.
Precisely, 23rd of June.
And we came back on the 30th. We arrived in the country on the 30th.
So you were away for 1 week?
Almost, yeah.
During that period, during that 1 week, did you have subsequent discussions of the matter with the president?
No.
Wasn't it strange that the Minister of Finance, who was pretty much number 3 or number 4 in the order of protocol, that he's been killed in mysterious circumstances, and the president never mentioned it again in that whole trip? 1 week out of the country, he never mentioned it apart from that one instance when he broke the news.
Yes, it's strange.
Your return to Gambia, can you tell us how the countries through which you traveled?
Council, I can't remember, honestly.
Did you pass through Geneva?
Yes. It was either Geneva or Zurich, but then it was Swiss Air. At one point, it was taken from either.
You passed through Switzerland?
Yes, exactly, yeah.
And were you joined on board that flight by another member of the AFPRC?
Yes. Then the spokesman, Captain Ibu Jallo, joined the flight from another overseas trip.
Do you know what was Captain Ibu Jallo's mission abroad at that time?
No, I didn't know.
Were you aware that at this time Captain Ibu Jallo was negotiating a loan deal with the Exim Bank of Taiwan?
No, I didn't know.
But wouldn't it be normal for cabinet to discuss negotiations for loan deals involving the government?
Yes, at a certain stage, the Minister of Finance will present it to cabinet.
But on this particular deal, you're telling us that you are not aware of
it? Not at all.
But wouldn't, in fact, based on your knowledge of government, wouldn't it be the responsibility of Minister of Finance, according to the Loans Act, to negotiate
Definitely, yes.
Deals involving loans to government?
Definitely, yes.
You agree? You knew the answer even before I completed the sentence.
Sure.
The question.
Yes, sure.
So it's quite obvious that was the responsibility of the Minister of Finance, correct?
Indeed, Council.
And at that, before his demise, the Minister of Finance, Usman Korosise, would have been responsible for that loan negotiation, correct?
Yes, under normal circumstances, yes.
But on this particular occasion, the negotiation was done by the spokesperson of the AFPRC, being Captain Ibu Jallow, correct?
According to the information I just given me now, I wouldn't know that at the time.
So Ibu Jallow joined your flight from Switzerland.
Yeah.
And do you recall where he sat in that plane?
I wouldn't. I know he must be in the business class, like us. But actually, this seat location, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't remember. Rather, I would remember.
Captain Ibu Jallow later claimed that he had extensive discussions with President Jammeh in that flight to Banjul. Do you recall seeing him having discussions with Jammeh?
Yes, that happens. Yeah, that happened. Okay, honestly, I don't know what they were discussing, but I know they had interacted.
Well, he has later given extensive description, an extensive narrative of his discussion with Jammeh in that plane.
Okay.
But not only that, he further went on to explain that he was in State House together with you that day when when the delegation arrived in Banjul, correct?
Yes, when you arrive, normally we all go with the president up to State House, and then when he retires, then we go back to our respective residences.
On that day, did you have discussions with Jammeh and Ibu Jallow about what happened?
No.
With Usman Korosise?
No.
That's your testimony?
Yes, honestly.
This is what Ibu Jallow had to say, and I will read it out for the commission to hear. This was an article published by Ibu Jallow in 1999, I think 1999. And it says as follows. I'll read from the middle. It says, at Geneva, I joined the same Swiss flight with Jammeh, who was also returning home from his trip. Jammeh told me almost everything that happened, but then cut it short because he was quarreling with his wife, then Tuti Fall. The context of everything here is the death of Usman Korosise. That's what this article is about. Okay. But I have skipped a lot of things. So it went on to say, at the State House, Jammeh briefly mentioned the Koros' death, then said that he was very tired and would like to have some rest. I insisted to talk to him, and Lamin Bajo also decided to stay. Of course, by Lamin Bajo, who would be referring to you.
Yes.
And then it goes on to say, only three of us and God, I and Bajo, told Jammeh that we cannot be part of what happened, and he, Jammeh, should do something about it. We told Jammeh that what happened was outrageous, and he should distance himself from this savagery if he wants to preserve his honor. Jammeh sat there looking shocked, disappointed, and helpless. After a long silence, we decided to leave him alone, unquote. That's what Ibu Jallow said. You saying this is a lie?
Yeah, maybe another Lamin Bajo, but not me.
You are the Lamin Bajo, who traveled with Jammeh on that day, went to State House with Jammeh and Ibu Jallow on that day. And Ibu Jallow is saying, Lamin Bajo, you want to suggest it's another person?
I said, unless it's another one, but not me, because we didn't even go further. When we alight, when the president gets to his room, we all go back to our vehicles. Maybe he had a separate meeting with him. I was not
when present. Was the first time you heard this allegation by Ibu Jallow?
That was after he quit the country, and then there's a particular letter, his letter of resignation, which he addressed to the chairman then, and then circulated it to the press and many other institutions. That's where I got this from, the copy of that letter that I was able to.
Do you recall when Ibu Jallow left the government?
I'm not very sure, but I think it's around October '95.
So when he left, he sent a letter to the president in which he made that allegation. That's what you say?
The allegation that Edward and Yankuba and others killed Koro. Yes. And he was even on BBC.
Yes.
I remember.
When was the first time you heard the suggestion by Ibu Jallow that he and yourself spoke to Jammeh about this?
No, in fact, that's, I didn't, it's just from people who were able to, I think there's a particular article or interview made on Freedom Radio that some people are talking about recently that I heard about.
No, but you knew from 1999 that Ibu Jallow had made publications suggesting that you and him spoke to Jammeh about this.
Yeah, sure.
And you said his allegations was false.
Yes.
Did you say anything about it at the time?
No, not publicly anyway. Not publicly.
So you did nothing about the accusation?
No.
Why didn't you?
Unfortunately, maybe I didn't feel it was necessary because of the circumstances surrounding Ibu Jallow in those days. For me, I wouldn't take him seriously.
What circumstances surrounding him?
No, the way he left and what he was implicated into. And I was part of the witnesses who testified. I was part of the witness who testified against him in Geneva relating to the $3 million. So, and many other things he was on. And the media, then the social media was not that very strong, but the Gambia, and others. So you say one thing today and tomorrow the other thing. But as far as I was concerned, my conscience was clear, and I knew that definitely what he was saying was not true.
But here your image was being, well, he made no accusation against you, but he did suggest that you and him advised Jammeh to dissociate himself from the murder of his finance minister. You were present.
No.
You thought that the suggestion was false. You did not come out to say anything about it?
No, because the first thing is, why would we? Because we just landed. Maybe had more information that I didn't have. We left the country, we were not in town, it happened. And then we had no other information about what happened. And so soon, how would you assume? You advise somebody to say, what did he know?
You are answering a different question. The question you are asked is, you said your assessment was that what he said was false, and it was against you. You didn't do anything about it. You did not come out to correct it.
No, I didn't.
Why didn't you?
I didn't take it seriously.
But an allegation of this magnitude, you did not take it seriously?
Yes, at the time, yeah.
When you arrived, did you have occasion to go anywhere with President Jammeh with regards to this particular case?
Yeah, when we arrived on the 30th, on the 1st, I remember, on the 1st of July, I think, I joined his delegation to Koro's family in Serekunda to pay condolences to the family.
Kindly tell us what happened there.
It's normal, the family, I'm sure, were expecting. The protocols had already arranged the meeting. And when we arrived with some elders from the Supreme Islamic Council, and then the normal prayers were offered, and then the president himself offered his condolence to the family, and then, assured them that the matter will be investigated.
The words he used are that he assured them that the matter would be investigated.
Yes.
That is your testimony.
Yes.
In hindsight, did you believe the assurance given by the president? In hindsight?
In hindsight, now, no.
Now
but then,
you believe
now,
that that assurance was false?
Yes, with what is coming out now would have given me that thought.
So as Minister of Interior, you were sitting there, the President gave an assurance to a bereaved family that the mysterious killing of their loved one would be investigated. Mm-hmm. You were seated there as Minister of Interior. Did you take the key from that?
Yes.
So indirectly you were being instructed, therefore, to investigate the matter, correct?
For the police to investigate the matter, yes.
And the police was under your responsibility?
Yes, to a certain extent, yeah.
So by extension, you were being directed to investigate the matter?
Yes.
Did you have the matter investigated?
I have given instructions accordingly.
To who?
To the Inspector General of Police.
Who was he at the time?
It was Mr. Jibril Juf.
Would it surprise you to note that the investigators have spoken to him and he said he received no such instruction from you?
Of course, very, very surprised.
Do you think he would have reason to lie against you?
That's personal, because this is...
Question is, do you have reason to think he would lie against you?
I'll be disappointed. I would not have expected him to lie.
Well, we don't know who's lying.
Exactly. So at this point in time, I don't think he has any...
So you're saying you instructed the IGP to carry out an investigation?
Yes.
He has denied that.
Okay.
Did you follow up with him to see whether he investigated?
Yes, a few times, yeah, a few more times.
And tell us about those times.
Not specifically the time, the periods, I would say, but at certain intervals, I'll ask him how far are the investigations going on. But the answers will be, we are still, on it, and then the respective units haven't yet reported to me on any lead to the investigation. I even proposed to him to even make a press release to general public, because sometimes that also can help. If there are any other people who will be able to volunteer, if they have any information or any evidence that they can volunteer to the police to help them in their investigation.
Mr. Bajo, this is the crux of the issue. It is important that the facts come out.
Yeah, sure.
Did you cause this matter to be investigated?
I have instructed, and I followed up.
Did you ensure that the IGP came up with the results that were necessary?
Yeah, because all I could have done was give for the matter to be investigated.
Did you take the necessary steps that were expected of you as minister?
Maybe you want to enlighten me on that. What steps do you think I would have done? Because
here is a colleague of yours, no less significant a figure as the Minister of Finance. He was killed in mysterious circumstances. The docket was your responsibility to investigate, or to cause to be investigated as minister. Did you fully discharge your responsibility?
To the best of my ability, yes.
Well, let's hear what you said in your statements. Let me refer you to paragraph 24. You did, of course, make some changes to the statement. These are last-minute changes. I will read them out nonetheless. Paragraph 24, you said as follows: during the course of police investigations, I could not put pressure on the police regarding this case because I was also assuming that the incident was an accident and that the IGP was fully responsible for it. And during cabinet meetings, I would update as to the status of the case. But there were not pressure from the cabinet colleagues regarding the incident. That is what you said in paragraph 24 of your statement.
Yes.
So obviously you did not put any pressure on the IGP to investigate. That's what you said.
Yeah, yeah.
The IGP is saying in the contrary, that you did not even instruct him to investigate.
I disagree with him on that.
You did not take the matter seriously, did you?
Because, I took it seriously to the best of my ability at the time.
No, you did not.
I did.
You ruled it out as purely accidental.
Yeah, but even accidents could be investigated too.
You did not see this as murder?
No, not at the time, no.
And why didn't you?
Sorry?
Why didn't you see it as murder at that time?
I had no cause to believe so.
You telling us that you were briefed about what happened by the IGP?
Briefed by?
IGP?
No.
As to the evidence that they have gathered?
No.
You were not briefed by the IGP as to the evidence that was gathered? That's what you're telling us?
At the time?
You told us you asked for updates.
Yes, but that's the time. But there was no evidence, tangible evidence before me, not a written article. What all the feedback would have been, we are making efforts, we are on it, they are on it, they are on it. That's all.
Were you informed about the facts that were obvious with regards to this accident?
No, never, not at that time.
You are not interested?
It's not a question of not interested, but I couldn't produce that what is not available.
But you are Minister of Interior.
Yes.
You claim that Yaya Jammeh instructed you in the presence of the family of the bereaved that this matter would be investigated.
Yeah. I will not take that as an instruction to me.
So you're changing your mind?
No, what I mean he said so. No, but
initially you agreed with me
that it could imply
an instruction, implied instruction. Now you are saying you are not instructed.
No, what I mean the statement of the president at the time was not directed at me. For example, if he had said the minister blah 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 do this or will do this, for example. But as I said, as a mature person, that would have further confirmed the need to investigate.
So because he did not mention you directly...
No, I didn't absolve. I didn't absolve from that. Even that I take it, but it's not a direct instruction. I assume, even without him saying that it should be investigated.
Can you first hear the question before you start answering?
Okay, sorry for that.
Except if you want to answer your own question.
Sorry for that.
All right. You think that what the president said was enough for you to start an investigation? That's what you said?
Yes.
And on the basis of that, you claim you instructed the IGP to investigate?
Yes.
And the IGP, according to you, has given you several feedbacks?
Yes.
But here you are sitting, you don't know anything about what happened, apart from what Yaya Jammeh told you?
Yes.
Isn't that odd?
It could be odd.
It is odd simply because you are not interested.
I was interested though, but I have my, when it comes to...
But you did not do anything to ensure that this was investigated.
Yeah, but I couldn't have done anything more. I couldn't have done anything more.
You said in your statement that you are negligent in your responsibilities.
With hindsight, yes, I think.
No, this is not about hindsight. When you're negligent, it's not that you know it years later. Okay. You know as at the time you were doing it that you were being sloppy, you were being negligent, you are not paying regard to the consequences of your action.
Of course, I was doing it. I was doing regular follow-ups, but the feedbacks were not coming from the right people.
Let's read out paragraph 28 of your statement. Maybe read it out yourself, and a bit slowly, please. So paragraph 28.
Regarding why there was no investigation, I believe it's just out of negligence. But I have no reason not to proceed with the investigations, neither did I instruct anyone to discontinue the investigations. It was a lapse on my side and on my ministry. Koro was not only a colleague. He was more than that. He was a brother. I said this.
Koro Sise was a brother to you.
Yeah.
He was killed under mysterious circumstances. Correct?
Yes, with evidence coming out now, yes.
No, evidence coming out that time.
I wouldn't confirm at the time.
That is why Jammeh assured the family that this would be investigated. Okay. Wasn't that the case?
No, it's an investigation that would have proven whether it was killed or whatever.
If he died under normal circumstances, there would not have been an investigation. There would not be a need for investigations.
Yeah, but that wouldn't assume at that time that it was confirmed that he was killed or murdered.
What I said was he died under mysterious circumstances.
Yes.
And that is the reason why Yahya Jammeh deemed it necessary to assure the family, those are your words, to assure the family that this would be investigated.
Yes.
And here you are, as Minister of Interior, you were negligent in discharging your responsibilities. Those are your words, not mine.
Yes.
You accept responsibility that you were negligent.
Yes.
Okay. We want to know why you failed to do your job.
No, but as I said, maybe I could have done better, but maybe I couldn't do anything more. That was my limit.
In fact, this was a general malaise on the part of the entire system, not just you. This failure to do what was expected was a general malaise on the part of the entire system. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Most of you, including yourself, were only interested in protecting your jobs and not doing the right thing with regards to the Koro situation.
No, I don't agree. I do not agree with that.
You knew that your colleagues in council were responsible for Koro's death.
No, I had no evidence at the time to believe in that at the time.
Ibu Jallow said so.
Yeah, that was Ibu Jallow.
And you didn't believe him?
No, I never believed him at the time.
But didn't the emerging facts convey to you the belief that in fact, or the suggestion that in fact what Ibu Jallow was saying was true?
Yes, to a certain extent, yeah.
And you therefore deemed it necessary that you did not want to sully your relationship with Yahya Jammeh by investigating this?
No, not that way. No, not that way.
Let's call a spade a spade.
No.
You were what you were because of Yahya Jammeh.
I wouldn't.
He did you a favor from day one.
I wouldn't call that favor, Council. I wouldn't agree that it was a favor.
No, at the beginning you agreed it was a favor.
No, because these are things that sometimes
no,
I wouldn't agree that it was a favor.
Mr. Bajo, you cannot now say it was not a favor. You attended your foreign training as a gendarmerie officer at the behest of Yahya Jammeh. Correct?
Yes.
He fought your corner, something you would not have done for yourself. Correct?
Yes.
He went up to the Secretary General to ensure you got his own scholarship.
Yes.
You got that training largely because of his assistance.
Yes, as a colleague and a friend.
When you came back after the coup, your colleagues were in jail. He did not put you in jail, correct?
Yeah, but for different reasons.
Just answer the question.
No, but they are not sent to...
Say yes or a no. You did not go to jail like your other colleagues.
Yeah, I want to qualify. That.
Did you go to jail?
I did not go. Why?
Very well. And it was down to Yaya Jammeh to decide whether you went to jail or not.
But Council, I don't want to. But I want also why didn't
just answer the question. No. It's a simple yes or a simple no.
No, but can be qualified.
How can you qualify that? I
didn't go to jail like others because that could be that could be private, or you call it in law, whatever. Because maybe all of those women who went to jail.
You are going into the realm of speculation.
No, but they were there. No, some of them.
You are telling us maybe. We don't want to hear the maybes. We want to hear the facts.
But each of them
you
were
did not go to jail like your other colleagues.
Yeah, because they were accused of something that I wasn't accused of.
But you could have been accused of anything.
Because I didn't do anything.
The bottom line is you didn't go to jail.
Alhamdulillah, yes.
Yes. Subsequently, you were appointed to a position of huge responsibility by Yaya Jammeh.
Yes.
He later gave you another position of huge responsibility.
Yes.
And it was in that position where you were to investigate something that Yaya Jammeh is accused of being involved in. That is the killing of Usman Korosise.
Yes.
You would not do it.
No, not based on that. I had never, and despite our relationship, Yaya Jammeh would not call me and ask me to do anything that is wrong or to do something I wouldn't do. That never happened.
He told you not to investigate the case.
He never told me that.
Do you know a person called Mustafa Marong?
Mustafa Marong, once Attorney General, yes, I remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
He gave a statement to the investigators.
Okay.
And he told us that he was in the office of Chairman Jammeh. You arrived in the office, and Jammeh told you that the case of Usman Korosise, just proceed with the investigations quietly. And what he learned from that was you were not to do anything at all. Is he lying?
That's funny. It's not only a lie, but it's a very funny statement. Because I cannot imagine if Jammeh wanted to cover up, he would have give such an instruction to me in the presence of a third party.
But this is interesting here. He did not say, don't do it.
No,
he said, do it quietly.
No.
In the presence of the Minister of Justice.
No.
As Minister of Interior, did you ensure that a request was made to the Attorney General for a coroner's inquest?
I had left all the trust and responsibility of the investigation to the IGP.
The question is, you said you've been updated.
Yes.
Did you ask the IGP whether there was a coroner's inquest?
No, I did not.
In fact, you did not do anything.
Yeah.
You were just simply negligent. Out of convenience.
No, not convenience at all. I wouldn't agree, not convenience.
You would never have investigated Yaya Jammeh because you owed him so much.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. And I would.
Well, you can sit here and deny that.
Yeah.
But the fact remains that you did not do anything regarding that investigation.
I would not go into the fields to do investigation.
No,
the least I could have done was to assign or give instruction for the investigation to be done.
The person
so I wouldn't investigate.
The person you told, you said, you claim to have instructed has denied it.
Yeah, he's at liberty to say so.
And the action you took suggests that you were never interested in an investigation.
Yeah.
And by your statement, you said you ruled it as purely an accident.
Yes. At that time, yeah.
It's accident, so you don't do anything.
It's not me who should do something, Council.
We are talking about discharge of your ministerial responsibility. We are not talking about you going to the field and taking tape lines and measuring.
I know.
We're talking about you discharging your ministerial responsibility.
My ministerial responsibility doesn't involve the operational aspect of whatever is going to happen.
You may say whatever you want at this stage, But you have admitted that
yes,
you were negligent.
Certainly,
okay.
Certainly. You can
I put it to this. Listen to this proposition. You had several options. Investigate the matter and fall out with Yaya Jammeh, or you keep quiet and keep your job. You chose to keep quiet.
Not at all, not either of the two.
In paragraph 31 of your statement, you said as follows: although I requested feedback from the IGP, but I did not receive anything concrete. The only feedback was that they were on it or they did not find anything. I believe I could have done better. Ordinarily, the IGP follows instructions from the ministry. I had no fear or threats or any feeling of being scared at the time. But the bottom line is, like you have said, ordinarily the IGP follows instructions from the ministry.
Yes.
You did not receive anything.
Yes.
You gave no further instructions. And that's why you feel you are negligent.
Yes.
You could have done better.
Certainly.
And this was your brother.
Yes.
You failed him.
Yes.
Miserably.
Yes.
We are saying, I am putting the proposition to you again, that you failed simply because you did the arithmetic. You thought it was better that you lose a bit of face for failing to do your job than to face up to the potential of falling out with Yaya Jammeh.
No.
You would have lost your job.
Yes.
If you had investigated, correct?
Yeah, it was coming out now, but I know it now, yeah.
No,
but
you
not
would
at the
have
time.
lost your job if you had investigated.
Council, I wouldn't agree with you that I investigate.
No,
definitely.
if you had directed, if you had ensured an investigation.
I did.
If you had ensured an investigation,
yeah,
the loss of your job would have been assured.
Could be. It could be.
But
it's probability, it could be.
Do you know a person called Pambay?
Pambay, former CMC, yes.
CMC was a high position.
In the police, yes.
He lost his job because he was investigating the matter.
I heard him mention in his testimony. But as the minister at the time, and that was news to me.
Did you inquire why he was dismissed?
I would not, because as the minister, the way he was dismissed, it didn't even come to the president.
But you are Minister of Interior.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Your CMC was dismissed.
Yeah.
You did not even care to find out why.
Let me give you one story.
Please go ahead.
Let me give you a story. Before he's being fired, there was a particular day. Then I met Abdullah Kujabi at the office of the president, and they were making allegations against Pambay. I couldn't fully remember, but there was a particular case at Gamtel that they were investigating. But in those days, I wish you appreciate the situation at the time. I could not remember the full details, but it had already gone to the president before me. And whatever they cooked there was not very clear to me, but it's from there I knew the decision was taken to fire Pambay. And I had to.
So they cooked something there?
Yes. I had to appeal. I had to intervene to save Pambay's job. I couldn't succeed. When it happened, and then when he was reinstated again, it's the same Abdullah Kujabi, who one time we met on the staircase of the president's office. He told me Mbitang, because he called him Mbitang, that's my in-law. I think you people should bring Pambay back. I think he's a good. I said, look, yeah, we are the ones who fired him. I told him in his face. You remember, you are the one who reported him and he's fired. And I told him that day, Pambay is an asset to the Gambia Police Force. So I want to learn this, show the council. I just want to give a background, because some of these things are not standing alone.
I understand what you are saying. And for a moment, I'm not suggesting that you fired Pambay.
No,
I'm not suggesting you were involved in his firing. What I'm trying to tell you is that Pambay was investigating this matter and he was dismissed. from the service.
Yes, because you said why I didn't know when he was being fired. I was just telling you the abnormality of the procedures and processes at the time. That could have happened as it happened many times. I wouldn't have been informed.
What I am telling you is...
Now, I agree with you with what he said. I trust him. He's a gentleman that I trust his statement that he was fired because of that.
You were aware of the consequences of getting involved in the Kodosise matter, and that is why you stepped back.
No, Council, no.
So you were just sloppy. You were just poor at doing your job. That's what you're telling us.
Whatever, but not fear of threat or any consequence, maybe.
Ibo Jallow went on to say that on that transaction he did for the Gambia government, he brought $5 million, $5 million to government. You were aware of that?
$5 million. That I remember the 35. What came to be the $35 million loan that the Taiwan gave to the Gambia? Yes.
Yes. Out of that, he brought cash. That $5 million.
Yes.
To Jammeh.
Yeah. Yes.
And this money, Jammeh gave you all your share.
Never, never.
He gave you $100,000.
No. Oh.
Gave Ibu Jallow $100,000. Yankuba Ture $100,000. And Singate $100,000. You deny it.
I was living in a mud house until 2009 that I could complete my building.
That may very well be the case.
That
does not necessarily mean
that is not true.
That's
not true.
Money.
I was confronted with this at the
Johnny Commission. This is what said. I will read. He said, Yaya Jammeh couldn't believe when he saw the money. That's true?
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know that. I wouldn't know that.
He danced to the ground.
Wow.
He was so excited. He gave me $100,000, which I used to open a foreign bank account. I was living on that money when I came to the United States. He also gave money to Edward Singate, Lamin Kaba Bajo, and Yankuba Ture out of the $5 million I handed over to him. You deny that?
Very well.
But you know, we all know that was Yaya Jammeh's modus operandi. We have had the Ami Bensouda Commission of Inquiry.
I appeared there.
You bring him a sack of money, he dips the brush in that money and would paint you. So he would take part of it and give it to you. You were both corrupt. That's what he used to do.
Maybe, yeah. But let me tell you, Ibu Jallow at the time had a very special relationship with Yaya Jammeh at the time. He was running errands for him. Sometime he'll call me the next day out. We wouldn't know what he was doing.
But you knew that he brought $5 million.
Yes.
And Ibu Jallow is saying you received a part of that.
Not true.
You see, all this tends to show that there was a reason for your unflinching loyalty to Yaya Jammeh.
Not at all.
He did you favors from when you were a junior officer and raised you to the lofty position of Minister of Interior. And now he gave you money. He bought your loyalty.
No, Council, if you could allow me to go back a little bit. My relationship with Yaya Jammeh doesn't just come like that. We joined the service the same day. We have the same badge. Since those days, Yaya, those who knew him, has not been an easy person. He was a difficult person. But thank God he has some respect to me. And when things get bad, I'm one of the people who will calm him down. We were together. We were both denied promotion to a certain extent and overseas training. We suffered. We coined a slogan, let them not set the agenda for us. Now, I just want to give you some.
Allow me also to ask questions from what you have said.
Okay.
And the two of you set the agenda for yourselves?
Yeah. No, we said, let them not set the agenda for us. We're talking about the command. Because there's insistent provocations that would have really closed the doors for us of future progress. If you allow me to...
two of you set the agenda for yourselves?
No, we wouldn't. If you are provoked, you don't retaliate, because in the service you do so, you are finished, or you could be punished. something else could happen to you.
And that agenda included your role in making the coup succeed?
Not at all, not at all.
You told Lamtombong to fold?
Not at all, not at all.
You changing your mind?
Not at all, Council. Council, let me complete this story with your permission. When we were there, that graduates, the first 2 or 3, and second and third, are promoted cadet officers, if you have all-level certificates. We did. It took us nearly 2 years or more before we are promoted. Instead of that automatic promotion, we have been subjected to a test, among others, because open to all other potential candidates.
We agree. You have said it, and it was not challenged, that you felt you were not treated properly in terms of promotion and getting scholarship for training.
No, yes. No,
okay, we accept that.
No, that was an incident when he took the bullet for me. This I wanted to bring out. That was an incident when he took the bullet for me. Let me shorten it. He, and as early as 87.
Again?
In those days, I'm saying that was the first time. I say he took the bullet for me.
That's what I'm saying. Again.
Yes.
Again, Yaya Jammeh is coming to your rescue.
No. It's the no. It's, let me complete. Let me give the story. Maybe
he took the bullet for you.
Yes.
Isn't that rescuing you?
No, he didn't rescue me.
Okay.
He put himself in a trouble. I was not in trouble. The day we assembled, I was supposed to go to do that cadet selection exams. The other candidates, including himself, were lined up in front of the commander's office. I was chief clerk coming out of the admin office, if anybody knows the setup of the Fajar barracks, going to drop a file at the commander's office to the adjutant, Captain Sen, to join the rest of them to be marched to the training school to start the exams. There is this Senegalese gendarme who came with a motorbike to drop a mail. And when I was passing from my office, I look at the motorcycle, this big BMW, and I look at the mile. I told her, boy, hey, look at the motorcycle, then they listen, then they down. In all of that, this motorcycle, they are very fast. The speedometer is this. Because he did the training with those motorcycles. You told me yes, but I had my hand on top of the bar of the handle of the motorcycle. And then this Senegalese guy came in and then hit my hand in wall of Baili Soko ya dokumuna fee. In wall of leave this, if you spoil it, you will not be able to pay it. Then from nowhere he jumped and then he went to town, insulting him, insulting his mother, insulting everybody, that this doesn't belong to Abu Youth, doesn't belong to Java, this is Gambia, you Senegalese, what you are doing here, blah, blah. Everybody came out, the commander, everybody came out. Because of that, when we arrived at the classroom, before we started examination, the commander of training school announced that because of Yaya Jammeh's behavior, at the end of the exams, his overall mark will be deducted by 20 points. That was his punishment. And then he just pulled the table and then the papers and then he walked out. I followed him. I told him, no, you have to go and do this. He said, no, these people, they don't want us to be officers, blah, blah. I said, no, but you remember, let them not set the agenda for us. This is the only chance we have. If you did not do this exam, we are not going to be an officer. We quarreled. I told him, no, okay, let's go. I'm not also going to sit because of me that you have been punished. He told me, no, Jamal, you're stupid. Go and do it. I said, no, I will not go. And then we quarreled. At the end of the day, he came to sense. He came back. We did the exams. They did what they were supposed to do. Fortunately, he passed because there were 6 positions. After deduction, he became 6th. So what I'm saying is that we started AFA.
You owed him loyalty?
No.
Started AFA?
Yes, as a friend, yes.
So you owed no loyalty to him?
As a friend, I did, but not on any other benefits in terms of financial or position, no.
Okay, let's see some of the things. Of course, Yaya Jammeh has also appointed you to other positions.
Yes, many.
And in some of your positions, you had to go out to the public and say things about Yaya Jammeh.
About him, negative or positive?
You had to go and you would not say anything negative, would you?
Okay, certainly. Okay. Okay.
Exactly. And that is certainly also the reason why you did not investigate Kodosi's death.
No, I wouldn't agree on that.
Okay. Here you had to say This was an interview you gave to the Daily Observer. Was with regards to the elections that was coming. He said, with the achievements registered by the government under the visionary leadership of President Jammeh, we are assured of victory. Can't be more loyal than that.
But that's the reality. That was the reality. Hate him or like him, that was the reality.
That was visionary leadership, right?
Yes, he had a vision for this one. Yeah, of course he does.
You were a believer.
Not a believer, I was a colleague.
So you didn't believe in him?
I don't want to qualify that. I wouldn't want to use the word believe. But as a colleague...
But these are your words, that he was a visionary leader.
Of course he was.
So
despite
and then you went on to say that our candidate is marketable because we worked so hard for the past 17 years to transform this country to such a higher level with many achievements.
Indeed, certainly.
And that was your belief of Yahya Jammeh?
No, but that was the reality.
You did not see him as a criminal, did you?
I didn't know of him of any criminal activities at the time.
You did not see him as a serious violator of rights?
What I saw him, what I stated was the reality of this country when he came, despite all what's coming, the bad stories coming out in terms of other corruption and other things, but the achievement, the tangible achievements that he brought to this country are undeniable too.
But you did not see him as a criminal?
No, I was not aware of any criminal activity of his.
Of course, you were aware of the execution of people during November 11?
Yeah, but I know that because the statement, what was happening at the time, this was a fight. There's a group of people who want to dislodge a government. He was expecting a similar thing when he wanted to overthrow the Jawara government.
That is what you believe?
No, what I mean, at that time, this is an attempted coup. But with what have come to light today, it's a different thing.
You want to tell me that in your position, from your position, as commissioner at the time, as head of presidential guards, your belief then was that these people died in crossfire?
Yes.
Isn't that naive?
No, it wouldn't, unless I have another evidence that could...
Look, wouldn't it be outrageous or even preposterous that in your level, that is what you believe?
Yes.
But soldiers came out very early on to say that these people were executed.
That was the story that came out. After.
The father of Jibril Sey, from first day came out to say that his son was executed.
I'll have due respect for the father. I wouldn't want to comment on that, because that's the least one who have expected of him at that time.
But even the institutions that you oversaw were also involved in blatant violations of rights.
Not that of I know.
Okay, let's talk about the arrest and detention of the UDP or the demonstrators at the American Embassy.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
I had no idea about it. Because as far as I know, I was not aware of the arrest. I don't know what they were arrested for. The police, as far as I know, were not involved in that arrest. They were not detained at any police station. It came to me like that they were arrested. The people who went to the American Embassy to demonstrate, they were arrested by another arm of the security service or the defense.
You are responsible for internal security, correct?
Yes.
A group of people, about 46 were arrested. You did not make it your business to know what about or under what circumstances?
Yeah, because they were arrested by another unit that's not under me. I couldn't.
Was that unit, in fact, responsible for conducting arrests?
I have nothing to say on that.
So, in fact, your jurisdiction was being usurped by some other arm of government?
In many times.
You did not say a word?
To a certain extent, of course, I did. In some instance, I did.
On this particular occasion, you did not?
No, I didn't.
And their rights were being violated, and you participated in that?
No.
You know their detention was unlawful?
I was not to judge at the time because you have a competent arm of the government that would decide that. That's the Minister of Justice.
And you extended their detention, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Unlawfully?
Not unlawful at that time.
Yes, you used draconian powers, unconstitutional powers, to extend their detention.
Okay. As bad as they were, but they were the rule of the prevailing rules for the country at the time.
You complied with those prevailing rules?
Of course, yes. Like
you complied with those prevailing circumstances?
Yes.
Which was do whatever Yaya Jammeh wanted and you keep your job?
No, not at all. Not 100% at the time. Not fully at the time.
How did you say anything or do anything to ensure that the rights of these people was respected or were respected?
I had on many occasions.
We're talking about this particular one.
Yes, yeah, I want to talk about that.
This particular one?
Yes, I would.
Did you? What did you do?
On many occasions, had taken up the matter of these detained civilians at the Fajara barracks with Yaya Jammeh at council level and with my colleagues. Up to the time that I was labeled to be part of them or to sympathize with them. I give you an example, one story with your permission. There was a particular day the Minister of Interior received a letter from the Minister of Defense to the Permanent Secretary, directing the Minister of Interior to carry out some repair works on the roof of the hangar where these civilians were detained at the Fajara barracks. When the letter came, I couldn't understand it, because these are people whose arrest the ministry was not involved. The motive of arrest is not known. They were detained at a military establishment, which is not under the Ministry of Interior. Now you are asking us to go and do that work. In my minute, I wish the files are around. I wrote, I milited to the Permanent Secretary, put in my position that as a non-starter, giving examples like how many security detainees are in mile 2, which is the premises of the police, and we had never asked the armed forces, whatever, or to do anything there. Let them take care of their responsibility.
You were protecting your own resources. You were not doing anything for the detained people.
No, because it's unusual. Why would the responsibility at that level?
The question is, you were merely protecting the resources of the Ministry of Interior.
No, it was a principle. It's based on principle, not resources.
But you were not doing anything for the detainees.
Yeah, because I said I had no idea about it.
But here you are as Minister of Interior. Your responsibilities were usurped. You didn't say anything about it.
I said, I told you on many occasions I raised the issue. We had made them to even label me. Can I continue the story?
That story is taking us to you protecting your resources.
No, but for the personal risks that the consequences that I had, what I had even gone to be labeled, even within us, I sympathize to these PPP people, because they were called the PPP people by some of my colleagues. That letter that was sent to the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Defense, was a subject of a heated discussion at the office of the chairman then. When that letter was sent to the Minister of Defense, it coincided that
Did you write to inform the Ministry of Defense that what they were doing was unlawful?
No, I didn't.
And that your ministry was responsible for the detention of these people if they needed to be detained? Did you do that?
I wouldn't do that because we didn't arrest them in the first place.
But you were
I wouldn't assume the responsibility.
You were responsible for arrest and detention.
Yeah, well, but not absolute. I wouldn't take responsibility to detain them when I did not arrest them.
Does the army have responsibility to arrest any civilian and detain them?
At that time, I don't think.
Was it not the responsibility of the police under your authority?
Yes.
Why didn't you complain?
No, I don't have any authority over them.
So the issue is, I'm just trying to establish a trend here, that you wouldn't complain, you wouldn't do anything once it points to Jammeh.
No, not at all. But I told this particular one, I'm giving an example. The extent I went, persistent, though maybe not written, but persistent, efforts.
This is about money from your department
being
sent to another department.
No, I mean before money came. That's what led to me, because I've always been seen to be sympathetic to them. And when this issue came, it coincided with the Army Commander at the time, Babakar Jatta, FRI, and the late Sambaj Ba, the IGP, and then the then DGNSS, NIA, went on a visit to the barracks to visit these detainees. From there... Did
you visit the detainees?
At Fajara Barracks, no.
Why not?
It was not, it's not within my jurisdiction.
But here are civilians, they are detained by an arm of government. You are responsible for internal security. Other heads of institutions were going to visit, you chose not to?
No, not. But I don't think really I would have wanted to venture into.
Necessary to do so.
Yes.
You just did not want to be
because
on the wrong side.
They are under a different ministry.
You simply did not wish to offend Jammeh because you owed him so much.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all, Council.
Yes, go ahead. You were going to say.
Now, I just want to say when the Babakar Jatta led, from there he led these two gentlemen to the office of the chairman, with the intention of appealing on their behalf to be released. And when he went there, this was after he explained to me the drama. When the drama unfolded, he explained to me. When he went to the chairman with these two, Sambaba and FRI Jammeh, pleading for their release, the chairman called Edward in, who was then the vice chairman, Minister of Defense, to the discussion. And when the matter was brought forward, and then through Babakar Jatta, we can learn later, Edward said, I don't know what's special about these PPP people. If you see what Interior has written us, the letter they wrote to us regarding these people, what happened? They narrated, we wrote to them, and they sent us a very strong letter that they are not going to do that because they are not within their responsibility, blah, blah. Also, I was sitting down and I got a call from the president himself, and then there was his intercom. He called me, Kaba. I said, yes. He said, can you come to my office with your PS? That was Akibayo. We walked into his office to summarize it. I found these 4 gentlemen sitting down. We sat. He looked at the file, was already before him. He said, how can your PS write such a letter to the PS defense? I said, what? Then he read the letter. I said, yes. The PS did not. He just wrote my minutes verbatim. This is what I minuted. And for him, he has no responsibility. Why? Then I explained to him. Then, initially then his voice went up, and then Edward chorus, and these other three gentlemen were quiet. But after, then maybe he realized when I spoke and explained, he said, you people have to work together. You people, you cannot allow this thing to happen between the two things. Then when we left...
Did you tell Jammeh that the detention of these people was unlawful?
I have told him that what precipitated this, that I've been seen to be championing their cause. That's why Edward used the word.
The question is, in that letter, did you inform Jammeh that the detention of these people was unlawful?
No, the letter was not sent to Jammeh per se. It was addressed to the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Defense.
Was that stated in the letter?
No, I don't know.
Was it stated in the letter that it was unlawful for the military to be arresting and detaining civilians?
No.
So the only issue that was stated in the letter was the fact that resources from Ministry of Interior cannot be transferred to develop the premises belonging to the army.
For purposes that we are not part of.
Yes, so purely this was about dollars and cents.
Not at all, Council. It's the principle.
Okay, it's a principle pertaining to dollars and cents.
Not at all, that's secondary.
So what was the principle about?
The principle was that we cannot assume responsibility of something that we are not involved in, that we had no idea about.
In a sense, you are saying you did not say anything about the plight of the people who were detained by the military unlawfully.
Not in that letter, not in that letter. Not in the letter form.
So in the letter, you made no mention of that.
Yeah, but that was not an issue at the
But
time.
even it was obvious to you that these people were being unfairly and unlawfully detained.
I did on several occasions.
No, but you raised the issue of this letter.
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah.
you said that this letter has caused you to be seen as a sympathizer to the PPP guys.
Yes.
But I am telling you that there is nothing in that letter which remotely suggests that you were fighting their case. The case you were fighting was for your own ministry and not for those people.
Those people, aside the letter, I had done that several occasions.
Let's do it step by step. In that letter which you referred to, you did nothing for those people.
No.
What do you mean? What do you mean by no? You are agreeing with me that in that letter you did not do anything for the detainees.
I didn't mention them like what you said, as you said. Yeah, I did not.
You did not say anything about them.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what I am trying to drive at here is that here was egregious violations of the rights of people, which should be your responsibility. You did not say anything about it.
I have said it over and over.
Do you have proof?
I've sworn to the Holy Quran.
That's all you have?
Yes.
You know,
and I'm sure the people that interacted with...
You know something, we have seen a lot of them here hold the Quran and say fanciful stories.
Yeah, but everybody has their own...
So that we're not impressed by the fact, or I particularly am not impressed by the fact that your only proof is that you have held the Quran and sworn to...
Except my colleagues with whom I interacted, the chairman himself and Edward himself at the time would corroborate that.
Okay, all right. You heard about the attack on the UDP supporters on the bridge?
Yes, I heard about it.
Do you realize that a number of them were arrested?
Yes, I heard about it.
In fact, 2 people died out of the group that was attacked?
I heard about it.
Did you investigate it?
No.
Did you do anything about it?
No.
That was typical, wasn't it? The typical modus operandi, you keep quiet and stay out of it.
Yes, because the operations were conducted or effected by a sister arm of the government, which was not under my purview.
For the benefit of Yaya Jammeh?
Not at all, no.
That was not for the benefit of Yaya Jammeh?
No, no.
This was elections time.
Yes.
UDP were campaigning.
Yes.
And they were blocked from campaigning by APRC stalwarts.
I heard, yes, I heard.
And their rights were violated.
I heard, yes.
And some people were killed.
I heard.
As Minister of Interior, you think that was not for the benefit of Yaya Jammeh?
Not at all, it shouldn't be.
No,
that was not my belief. That was not my belief.
Okay. It was done it was done by who? AFPRC supporters? APRC supporters?
Actually, I didn't have much information about this incident.
But were you in fact interested?
I would have been interested, but...
you would have been interested?
Yeah.
But you were not interested?
Yeah, because it didn't come my way. It didn't formally, there was nothing I understand.
It's just like the Korosise case.
Yeah.
It's another fly on the wall. Just disregard it and move on.
Yes, but not at this case. Not at this particular case.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I have no further questions for the witness. The witness is yours.
Thank you very much, Council. And thank you very much, Ambassador Bajo. Before I give the floor to commissioners who may want to ask some questions, just want a small clarification from you. In August 1994, at the Residence Meridienne at Dakar, in Dakar, you had a discussion with the former President Jawara when you informed him about your decision to return to the Gambia. What reason did you give him?
Forced to come back to my country because I couldn't go out to live in exile. Number 2, my dad was also sick, and the situation at the time, being away, I thought even if I were if I would have been in mile, it would have been better for him than knowing that I'm out of the jurisdiction of the country, the uncertainty that befell the family, really, because I call them once in a while, and I knew the situation. I was informed about the situation. So these are the two reasons. The situation of my family, particularly my dad, who had a stroke, and he was in a bad state, and then the need for me to come back to my country, because I went reluctantly, because I didn't know that I was going. I had that impact that I couldn't render the leadership that the men and the people under my command required at the time.
Thank you. It was the second reason that I really was seeking confirmation of. I didn't hear it from you. We heard it from other witnesses that came in here earlier. Commissioners, you have any questions? Yeah, Commissioner, let me see. Sorry, Commissioner Yellow, yeah. Sorry.
Perhaps before I yielded the floor too soon. My colleagues have reminded me that there is one point that we had planned to address, but I missed it. Just 2-3 more questions for the witness, if I may. I crave your indulgence. Thank you very much, Mr. Bajo. We received information that as campaign manager of the APRC, you did inform the public that if they voted against Jammeh, they'd be detected by the biometric machines.
Never.
Do you recall saying that?
No, I never said that.
Do you recall Ousseynou Dabo making a public statement chastising you or attacking you for making that statement? We saw it in the newspapers that Dabo frowned at comments by campaign manager of APRC, Lamin Kababajo, that if anybody failed to vote for APRC, he or she will be detected by the biometric machine, saying such comments are intimidating and threatening, urging Bajo to refrain himself from such comments, unquote.
Yeah.
You hearing this for the first time, you want to tell us?
Anyway, Council, this was a political campaign. I wouldn't say I didn't say it. I wouldn't say I didn't say it.
Are you confirming you said it?
I cannot remember saying it, but if I'm quoted, I wouldn't dispel it. But I cannot remember saying it.
Mr. Bajo, you can only remember saying it. You cannot say you remember saying it, but you don't remember saying it.
No, that particular one I can remember saying.
You cannot remember Ousseynou Dabo, the former vice president, chastising you for threatening people that if they voted against Jammeh, they would be detected by the machines?
No, I can't remember that.
You see, sometimes politicians think that they can intimidate and cow our people by telling them crazy stuff like this. Yeah. You cannot remember saying
no.
it. So you saying that Mr. Dabo was lying?
No, I wouldn't say that. I'm just want to be this thing. I wouldn't.
But are you saying that Mr. Dabo was lying?
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
So Mr. Dabo was truthful?
I said I cannot remember saying. I might have said it. As a human being, it's been some years, and in campaign platforms, you have thousands of meetings, so you cannot go back and recall what you said.
Your loyalty to Jammeh pushed you to this level.
That was not.
You had to.
That was not loyalty to Jammeh.
Mislead the people, even threatening them to accept this position.
It was not loyalty to Jammeh. It was loyalty to myself.
So you said it.
I would remember it, Council. I might have said it, but I would remember it. And
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Commissioner Jallo, please, you have the floor.
Commissioner Imam Ousseynou Jallo, witness, you are head of the household at the President's residence, in charge of all the armed forces there. You decided to join the boat and leave this situation open. Don't you think if you had stayed back with the evidence that has come before us here, that you have got very good relationship with Yaya Jammeh, you would not have been able to convince them not to destroy the democracy of this country?
That is one of the regrets I had for living on that boat. And I want to be on record that I have not decided to go with the boat. I went with the boat by accident, and I have witnesses to that. But I wish I had stayed. Maybe, God knows, while on the ground, maybe things would have been different. I have that regret.
Chona Imam C, you have the floor.
Bajo.
Bajo.
Sa digante ak Yaya Jammeh mos na am
You
jafe-jafe
and
ba mu
God.
dakkala.
Did you have any pause?
Sa digante ak Yaya Jammeh mos na am jafe-jafe ba mu dakkala ci liggéey bi.
Did you ever have any problem with him until he sacks you from the job?
Génne na ma ci place yi yóbbu ma feneen yu bari bari waaye musta nekk boo xam ne man lu ma xam ne lii lañ jotee oo lii laa def loo xam ne dafa àndu ci moo dee xam parce que léegi bu mu laa yónnee du la wax lii tax ma génnee la te du am occasion boo xam ne nga toogaa moom mu ne li nga def loolu tax ma nga laa génne moo dee xam waaw génn ma soo cegee suma CV génn fi dugga fii génn fi dugga boo bari na waaye sant yàlla musuma too foo xam ne daal ñu ne lu bon li la def waaw boo amul.
I did this and this. Thank you very much for that. If there are no other questions, Ambassador Bojang, do you have any closing remarks to make? If you do, please proceed.
Mr. Bajo.
Bayo, sorry, my apologies. My apologies.
Thank you
The reason why I called him ambassador, I'll pass him across him when he was ambassador in Saudi Arabia, and he and Jammeh represented the Gambia at the summit, and I was representing the UN. Sorry.
Mr. Chair, well, Mr. Bajo happens to be one of those people who would have to come back to talk to us about some other subjects. We would have to do the institutional hearing on the prisons. And as Minister of Interior, definitely he would have to come back here. So maybe perhaps we hold back on that particular issue until he comes back another time. But nonetheless, thank you very much, Mr. Bajo. You've been helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Council. That's all right with me. We would wait and then hear from you subsequently. Again, thank you all very much, and we would take a 1-hour break, come back at 2:30 for the afternoon session. Meeting is adjourned.
It's now 20 minutes to 2.
You can add 10 more minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.